My soul is tormented by a succubus. Calling sis, pencil dripping from the way I spit. Fell in love.
So I've got some pretty interesting statements to show you guys today, and somehow this actually slipped under my radar, but I haven't seen anyone else talk about it, so that was pretty much my cue to make sure that I made sure you guys actually got to see these statements. Now, the statements I'm going to share with you are from major creators of Attack on Titan. Now, you might say, what do you mean creators? Attack on Titan was made by one guy, and that's Hajime Isayama. Now, it's true the idea for Attack on Titan was birthed by his mind, and he is the man responsible for writing and illustrating the manga. But when it comes to the franchise as a whole, there are just so many people involved in making Attack on Titan what it is. I've talked about many of these people when it comes to the anime, like the scriptwriter and composer, and I could go on and on listing names, but the people I'm talking about in this video are pretty much the biggest you can get in terms of the heads of this series creation. And that's of course the creator and author Hajime Isayama, but there's also Tetsuro Araki, the guy who has directed the anime this whole time, and the president and CEO of Wit Studio, Takashi Wada. There was actually no official statements given by the higher-ups at Kodansha though, which is the company that actually owns the series along with the manga magazine it's from. But these statements today are mainly focused on the most obvious change for the Attack on Titan series, and that is the change in animation studios for the final season of the anime. Since the anime's creation, it was always animated so beautifully by Wit Studio. Whenever anyone talked about an anime having good animation, people usually always pointed to Attack on Titan. But we had heard rumors that that was going to change, and it ended up being true. Of course, we know that now. The anime is now being produced under Studio Mappa instead of Wit Studio, and Studio Mappa of course is not a bad studio at all, but the change in style has divided a lot of fans on how to feel. But I'm sure the final product wouldn't be bad even if we still end up liking Wit just a little bit more. I made a video on how you can check out the most recent finished animation from the studio with their newest anime, so you can go ahead and check that out to see basically how Studio Mappa does things. But what I'm about to show you is actually Wit Studio's first statement ever given on them talking about the anime they created being finished by another studio. The president and CEO of Wit Studio put out the statement, "The final season of Attack on Titan has finally been announced. It took a long time to prepare, so I'm really happy to have reached this point. The final season where the best team animates the best original work on the foundation we made. I have only expectations. Everyone, please look forward to it." Now, you can pick apart that message and interpret it in many different ways on how he really feels, but I think he's trying to say that Wit Studio is totally fine with not continuing with Attack on Titan, and that they accepted that their time with the series is over. He even went on to call Studio Mappa the best anime team, basically saying that they're better than they are, which is a pretty massive compliment when it comes from Wit Studio. But Hajime Isayama, the author of the manga, addressed the studio change by saying, "Attack on Titan will be animated to the end. I would like to thank the readers for their support so far. The series has been going on for 10 years now. I thank director Araki, Wit Studio, and the drawing corps for all the memories that made me happy. I'd like to continue the anime with everyone at Mappa and make wonderful memories again." And he put out some art with the characters of Attack on Titan basically saying goodbye to Wit Studio. This art is obviously drawn by the author in the manga style. As you can see, some characters look a tiny bit different than how they look like in the anime, although people have pointed out that Studio Mappa is actually doing it more accurately to the manga, even though most people think that Wit Studio actually improved upon their designs. And finally, the guy who directed the anime from season 1 up until the studio change said, "The anime has been taken over by the wonderful team of Mappa. We've been exchanging info and having meetings for a long time. There is no doubt that the finish will be fulfilled. We're looking forward to the continuation of Eren's journey." So it looks like we finally know what Wit Studio has to say about Studio Mappa, and it looks like it's all good things. They've put a lot of trust in them to finish off what they started, what they've worked on for so long. And honestly, Attack on Titan is pretty much what they're known for. It's their biggest anime, and they've been trying to push out original animes, not really based on any mangas. In my opinion, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress was a pretty good show, but of course it fell off the radar when it was an Amazon exclusive, even though that wasn't really a problem for some other projects. But I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I would appreciate it if you left a like before you go. My name's Konjic, and I'll talk to you in the next video.